Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your February 2022 reading. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful for each and every one of you who are here, whether you're new or you've been with me for a while. I'd just like to start by saying that I set the intention for this reading to be for Scorpio Sun and Scorpio Rising. Now, obviously, if you're a Scorpio Moon, you are more than welcome to watch this video in case any of it does resonate. That's just the way that I incorporate astrology into my tarot practice. But cross-watchers are also welcome. I would love for you if you find any messages in here and you don't have necessarily any major Scorpio placements, but you know somebody who does and you want to share these videos or share the messages, I would be so grateful. Any way that these messages get to who needs to hear them, it's just so, it would be amazing for me because Spirit really wants, people to be able to connect to their highest self. And I feel like a lot of these messages have been very clear and very similar. Not the same, but similar. So it's like Spirit is really screaming for people to really get these messages and get connected. So really, your likes, your subscribes, your comments, your shares would mean so much. And also, I made a collective video with our collective card of strength for the month of February. So if you haven't watched that already, you can feel free to pause this video, watch the collective video and come back. Or you can just watch this through and go back and watch the collective video. But I do go more into depth about strength for everyone. And there's a monthly reading that encompasses the advice for February for the entire collective for the month. So it's really important. Because I'm not going to go too far into that here. This is more of a zooming in for you, Scorpio, for the month, and zooming in on what aspect of strength that Spirit wants you to focus on. So I really felt called to do these type of readings for the month. My guides were very clear on that, for each sign, there is a little bit of a different aspect of strength that they want, to look at for each month. So right now we're going to pull a focus card for you, for the month of February. Thank you, Spirit. All right. So here's your focus card. Okay. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay, so what I'm getting initially from this is a Libra card. So the Queen of Swords is someone who really is a great communicator, a great space holder. This is water and air. And Scorpio, you're a water sign. You're really good at plumbing the depths of emotion and then also being able to channel that, or hold that for, yourself and other people. So I can see where, the Queen of Swords can be an excellent and wise counsel to other people. But what Spirit is asking with this in reverse, it's almost like what you want is to be able to channel that outward. And Spirit is saying, you're meant to kind of explore an aspect of yourself that's a little more internal this month, because we're still coming out of a very heavy retrograde period with Venus retrograde that just went direct on January 29th and Mercury retrograde that is going direct, I believe, on February 3rd. So, it's important while we're going into that post-shadow phase of both of these very personal relational planets, to kind of, comb through what happened, what we reviewed, what we learned during these retrogrades, and not necessarily take time to, do any outward action yet. Kind of like allow ourselves to digest, move a little bit slower, and then, give ourselves time where, it might be more appropriate to communicate what we've learned. And that might be with someone else. It might be, a close friend, because Libra is related to the 7th house. It could be in a business relationship, in a friend relationship, in a partnership, marriage, partner, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, what have you. It could be, with a family member, whatever relationship that it is, it's like almost like you need more time to process maybe things that came up over that retrograde period before you're ready to talk it out with someone else. You're meant to kind of do a little bit more emotional processing, so you can get to a space, not that you're not vulnerable, but what do I authentically feel about what transpired or what I learned? It's not necessarily that you're not vulnerable or you're not comfortable with being vulnerable. Different messages for different people, that might be the case, and that's okay. We've all been there where, we feel a little bit guarded, but it might just be like, I'm not ready because I don't fully understand, or not that I don't understand, but like I haven't been through the process of completely unpacking, what happened, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull a grounding oracle card that bridges both of these two cards together, the collective card and your focus card for the month, to give us a little bit more information about what Spirit is trying to ask you to do with these energies this month. So, Spirit, please, one grounding oracle for Scorpio for the month of February 2022, please. Okay. See, that was 2, but I'm only going to leave the top card. Okay, grow your truth. That lines up really well. And the one that was under it was key into wisdom, little owls. So those both, are a message there, but I'm just going to leave the one that was on the top. So that lines up really well. Grow your truth. It's like, it was just a little seed of, what you're going to be processing over this next month that you got during the retrogrades. So it's like we don't want to kind of process this outwardly, because swords and, wands as well are very outward facing energies. We want to be a little bit more receptive, more digestive. Black snakes. Snakes are a sign of, intuition, regeneration. They're feminine and receptive. Whether or not, snakes seem scary, or, even spiders, they're a sign of like intuition. But, we're growing and we're regenerating. We're shedding old skin. We're shedding old ways of understanding relationships. So Scorpio, Capricorn is your, Scorpio, Capricorn is your, I'm trying to work out the houses really quickly. I apologize. Capricorn is your 10th house, and Aquarius is your, I'm sorry. I am completely blanking on the houses right now. So Scorpio, and then Sagittarius, Capricorn's your third house, Aquarius is your fourth house. So it's almost like, okay, this Queen of Swords like is very third house energy, even though third house is like more associated with Gemini, it's still communication. And then fourth house, you know, the Queen's is very watery, and Cancer, you know, is your fourth house. I mean, Cancer kind of rules the fourth house, you know, it's our IC. So it's like you're processing maybe things that happened from when you were a child. You know, I'm really getting that kind of Five of Cups, Six of Cups energy, where it's like Mars and Scorpio, Sun and Scorpio energy, and you're really trying to own your truth through this Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde period, where it went through these two houses of, you know, communication and your roots. So that's really, really beautiful, you know. And if you think about the fourth house being the house of your roots, you know, growing from there, it's like, you know, you're trying to understand where you came from to know, you know, where you're going towards that 10th house of, you know, what we want to be known for. So our next card is going to be where you are at the start of the month. So let's get one card for Scorpio, where they are at the start of the month. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, 10 of Swords in reverse. And that aligns really well with Grow Your Truth. Like, do you see the imagery? I like sometimes relying on the imagery to really explain this. Like, she's upside down and these swords are like falling out of her back. So maybe we're processing a time where, you know, we have experienced some, you know, relationships, and this could even be, you know, childhood relationships, you know, in our early, you know, school, or, you know, extended family, you know, third house rules siblings, third house rules, you know, early education, our neighborhood, you know, fourth house is our, you know, immediate family, you know, where those things really, were formative, you know, of you, of, you know, how you felt about yourself, how you might have, you know, learned to express yourself or think about yourself. And you're, you know, the 10 is the end of a cycle, and it's like, you know, I'm ready to transition and let these swords fall out and move on. You know, it's, you know, I'm not reading this 10 of Swords as if, you know, you're not learning the lesson of the swords. I'm reading this as if like these swords are coming out and like, I'm done with this. And that doesn't mean that it won't hurt anymore. That doesn't mean that when it comes up that, you know, you won't still need to process more. Grief is not linear. I just said that in Libra's video, but you're allowing yourself to be open to healing, to grow and own your truth, so that when you've done this processing, you know, look at this spine where, you know, the snake is wrapping like a caduceus, you know, this, you know, they use the caduceus in, you know, as a medical symbol. So it is a sign of healing. And then also it almost looks like the hilt of a sword, and then, you know, the sword coming up out of, you know, with the snake wrapped around it. So it's like you're growing in your truth, you're learning, you know, your truth. So, you know, that is really beautiful. And this green, you know, is connected to the heart chakra. So it's like, you know, you're really processing in a heart-centered way. Leo rules the heart, you know, where you're not bypassing any of your feelings. You're not letting anybody off the hook. You're not taking responsibility for what's not yours. And that's really beautiful, because a lot of times we will end up taking on other people's baggage, especially in close family situations. It's really hard to separate ourselves, especially from things that happen in childhood. We feel overly responsible to our caretakers or people that are really close to us, because we don't know at that age how to question, you know, things that may not be right, you know, and, you know, that happens a lot to children, and not even sometimes in a malicious way, but it will, you know, and that is some of the roots of trauma, you know, whether someone means to traumatize you or not, it doesn't, their intentions don't matter. It's what happens and how you experience it. So it's like, it's your truth. Let's see. All right. So what I got, I'm not getting any energy off this Four of Wands, so I'm going to put that back. This next card is a challenge that will or may arise for you this month, and you got the Queen of Cups in reverse. So that, again, that's two queens in reverse. So it's like you might feel a little bit stuck in this moment of processing, and you might need to reach out, strength, be a little bit vulnerable and ask for help if you feel like you're having a hard time letting these swords fall out, getting past this point, because being that you're here at the beginning of the month, I see this card's presence as this is what you want. Like it's showing up, it's in the reverse, not because you don't want it, but I feel like because you want it so badly, and this blockage here, maybe with the Queen of Cups, is because the desire is so big that you might be trying to maybe rush past the process. I've been getting that message a lot, you know, because this is a swords card, and sometimes, you know, that energy, like it wants to be over and done with, you know, and this Queen of Cups is coming up in reverse because, you know, upright, she would be going with the flow. This is Cancer. Okay. So this is also related to your fourth house. You know, this call, you know, calls back the fourth house. Cancer is not your fourth house, but you know, water flows where it's able to go, you know, and it kind of takes it, you know, it doesn't rush, you know, necessarily. I see this more as like, you know, just going with the tide and not fighting against it, and really seeking that deeper understanding. But I think in the reverse, the challenge may be like, you know, I want to understand now. I want to push past this now. I don't want to feel this because it's uncomfortable. But uncomfortability isn't always bad. It lets us know, you know, that we're alive and that, you know, an injustice has been done to us, or, you know, that we have a right to say no, you know, when certain things don't feel right for us, you know, even from ourselves. If there's something that, you know, we're saying to ourselves, you know, that feels hurtful, you know, or, you know, that somebody else is speaking to us, like that you have a right, you know, to sit with it and to say, no, like this doesn't feel good to me. Cancer is, you know, is really deep, you know, just like Scorpio. They feel a lot. So now we're going to pull a card, how to tackle this challenge. That card's going everywhere. Hold on one second. And how to take decisive action when dealing with this challenge. I have one card, please, Spirit, for Scorpio. How to tackle this challenge of the Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay, that was 3 cards. I'm going to look at which one's up top. Okay, well, you got 3 cards, but I'm going to leave. Let's see. And you also got the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, and you got the 3 of Cups in reverse. I'm just going to leave the 3 of Cups, but I see this Ace of Swords in reverse is like saying, don't try to go too fast, because you might end up scrambling the message or misinterpreting something, rather than, being rooted and grounded. Another queen. Okay. So this is the kind of queen that you need to be. Queen of Pentacles. She is stable. She's secure. She's in her place of comfort. Like, you need to be a little bit more sheltered and in your comfort zone this month. And I see that with the Three of Cups. A way to tackle this challenge is maybe to be a little bit more solitary this month. Like, maybe not going out, or, not necessarily going out if you're not already going out, because we are in a pandemic, but maybe, even online, spending as much time with friends. Like, you need to maybe process by yourself or with one other person. I hear, very clearly. And that might be just a message for a few of you, that if you're doing a lot of connecting in groups, even if they're online groups, to maybe do things that are a little smaller, a little more intimate, and more focused on your growth and your truth, so ways that, you can really talk and connect authentically, rather than like big forums that, it's a lot of people chattering over each other, and you can't really, connect to other people, or one other person in the way that you want to. Okay, so we're going to pull one last tarot card about where you may be at the end of the month, for Scorpio at the end of the month. Okay, and you know what? It came out this way. I'm going to pull this upright. Look at that. Two of Cups. So it's like you have found that sense of connection. Maybe you found somebody to really connect with, or this could be you finding that connection with yourself. Look, there's that caduceus again. Love that alignment. And here, like, this is the lion, just like Leo. So it's like, you found that sense of home. And this might be, a new connection. This might be a rekindling, or this just might be like, a connection that you already have, but you found a way to grow in your truth and speak your truth in a new way, where you might have kept certain things to yourself or not known how to process with someone who you're in a meaningful relationship with. And that's really beautiful. That sets you up for a great ending of your month, where you're starting at this Ten of Swords, really wanting to let these swords fall out of your heart. And at the end, like, you're really connecting with someone else. So it's like you might not be completely through this Ten of Swords process, but with this Two of Cups, you're on your way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull some oracle cards that bridge each of the cards together. So we're going to start with a personal power oracle, and I will be putting all of the cards that I'm using in the description box, so that if you are curious, you can use that. Okay. And you got, I am a creator. Okay. So this is you being able to create the life that you want, to grow your truth, to create your truth for yourself, to speak it, to live in abundance, to create your own authentic self, and, to create the life that you want, despite any hardships that you might have had in the past, or relationships that might have been challenging, because sometimes that can make us want to isolate. I mean, look at the way that she is hugging this orb, this earth, or whatever, it is. It's, like she's, holding almost like Empress energy, but it's anything that you create. Like, this is super like fifth house energy. Like, maybe in growing your truth, you're doing it in a way that's artistic. Scorpios are very creative. They have a way of really getting to the depths of a story or, art. And maybe that's the way that you choose to channel your truth this month, or, that's the way that you start a new project that, is meant to go on for a long time. Because, with that Queen of Pentacles that came up in this area, Pentacles is long-lasting energy. So let's pull one card to bridge this Queen of Cups and Three of Cups in reverse. Okay. Oh, look, okay. Now is the time to pause and reflect before acting. Okay, and that's what the Queen of Cups and the Three of Cups, that's exactly the message that I was getting. Pause and reflect. Don't try to move too quickly through this. Give yourself time to process, and the truth eventually will reveal itself to you, but you don't have to rush. You can take your time. Okay, and the last card I'm going to pull is an inner child message for Scorpio for the month of February. So one inner child card for Scorpio. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, see, it just wanted to fly in my... Oh, look at this. I am a creator. Write a letter. Writing down our own thoughts and emotions can help us to become more aware of them, as many things reside within us that we might not know until we give them the space to come forth. Now is the time to write a letter either to your inner child or as your inner child. Fourth house, really deals with that, child, that inner child. Queen of Swords, that, swords are about communication. Ten of Swords, I am a creator. This might be you starting a creative project where you're writing or blogging or in some type of way communicating your story. Have patience with this process. Patience. Now is the time to pause and reflect before acting. This is wild. Giving yourself plenty of time in which to do it. This process is not meant to be rushed, Scorpio, but it will happen. It will happen. Just give yourself the time. And really, if you allow yourself the spaciousness, even if it just starts out with one sentence, one word, and then allow yourself a little bit more time, to build up to 2 sentences, a paragraph, a page, it will come out. And you can even try automatic writing. Make sure that you are grounded and protected before you go about that, because you don't want any negative energies coming in and trying to grab hold of your automatic writing. Ask your higher spirits that are in your highest and best to please help you channel. Always want to be protected. But yes, definitely writing down your thoughts. And if you're into crystals, maybe grab some citrine. That's very good for creativity. Grab some black obsidian or some hematite for protection. Grab some amethyst, some clear quartz, some smoky quartz, anything to keep you grounded and protected. But I see this being a really important month for you to really just kind of sit still, pause, reflect, allow these retrograde energies to kind of marinate. And those are the messages that I'm getting for you, Scorpio. If you resonate with these messages, definitely leave me a comment or come back later in the month and let me know how it's going. I love to hear from you. But this is what I'm getting, and make sure that you watch that collective video because there's more information there for you. I really appreciate your likes, your subscribes, your shares, and don't forget to hit that notification bell because I have some more projects that will be coming out this month, at least one pick a card that's going to be about mid-month, and you don't want to miss that. And then if I have any other surprise uploads, you want to make sure that you have that notification bell on so that you get a notification when it comes out. And I so appreciate your time and your energy and your presence. I want to thank your guides and my guides and beautiful spirit and for these messages, and just, have a great month. You deserve it, Scorpio. And I will see you again in March, okay? Take care. Bye.